Hey, what's going on, family? It's Shady, the mobile trader, coming to you. It is Sunday, November 28th, 2021. Let's get right into it. We're going to do some headline grabs for the upcoming market open on November 29th, Monday. This is going to be after that amazing, I call it amazing, that's my choice of words, that sell-off, uh, the panic sell-off on Friday due to the Omicron, or however we pronounce the new COVID strain. Fears in the market. If you're a long-term investor, this is just a bump in the road. And if you're looking at the right stocks, it's discount shopping. Just depending on which stocks you're looking at now. If you're a trader and you're in short-term positions, you probably got clapped and stopped out. So let's go right to the headlines. And this is going to be what the panic is about. It's going to be the virus spreading to different areas. There's going to be lockdowns, you know, uh, for international travel coming out of Africa. But one of the headlines that I noticed was, I think it was recently in Investors Business Daily or the Wall Street Journal. Right here. Here we go. First Omicron COVID cases detected in UK and Italy. So it's out there. It's spread. It's around. So what we're looking at is we're going to have to make decisions on a few. I don't know if you're going to hedge or whatever, but the charts have taken a pause. If we look at the IWM, the ticker symbol IWM, it's the small cap ETF. It's it's been in a trading range, and it shot. It had broken out of that trading range. Consolidation somewhat broke out, and Friday's sell-off was basically a continuation back into the bottom of that range. So we're going to look to see the 220 level. The real red flag is like 209. So we'll be careful at those levels. But what I wanted to do, we're going to keep just watch the headlines. Don't get spooked. Short term, we might take a hit, and if you understand how to buy puts, that might be an idea. But you're going to see the vaccine stocks, the stay-at-home stocks, like your Zooms, your Pelotons, uh, anything that deals with stay-at-home. I'm thinking the video game stocks like Take Two and EA may see a boost. Now, I'm just going off of talking off the top, off of generating ideas before I dig in and perform due diligence on Sunday. But the more we see, New York has declared a state of emergency, trying to get ahead of the potential of the Omicron variant. And people say, oh, they're panicking for no reason, this and that, and we don't know what's going to happen. But the idea is to you have communities that are prepping for this. So as long as this is the key headline, the market may see another rumble to the downside. We'll watch the futures on Sunday. As we continue to go down and we see the top stories are going to be the virus, the variant, the virus. Now, we'll dig a little bit deeper. The Hertz Tesla deal has kind of come back into the market. I think Elon strategically made a statement that they hadn't signed the final agreement. Hertz had stated that they took um, delivery of the cars, but nonetheless, EV is creeping into the rental area or the rental industry. So that's something to keep our eyes on with Hertz, Avis, and they've been hit hard during that time. So we're looking at some bottoms. Look to see if there's a base for any of the technical analysts out there. I believe Hertz had definitely set up a base and possible base breakout. So I'm not going to do charts tonight. Now let's keep going down. I'm just looking for headlines. And now, right here, digital technology poses new obstacle for spies. Cybersecurity. PANW, what is it? Geez, Palo Alto, excuse me. They've been on a run. But dig into cybersecurity for long term due diligence over the next 5 to 10 years, because as we go into the metaverse, as we go into more moving things into the cloud, digital, more less in-person access and more using our devices to connect with people, you're going to have a need for stronger cybersecurity. So that's an area to kind of dig into. Now let's go. The spending plan is going to be on the marker. The vote has to go through the Senate. So don't get ahead of ourselves where people will dive into the cannabis stocks. They'll dive into the commodities. We'll look at the steel, the infrastructure. It Even if it passes, there may be some lag time before we see positive moves in the market. So kind of take your time with that. Now let's look a little bit further. I'm not worried about the creator of Bitcoin. I'm not worried about I don't even remember his name, man. And I used to just Satoshi Nakamoto, excuse me, but it, I'm long-term bullish on Bitcoin nonetheless. NFTs, also digital land. I'm looking at that too. I'm actually I'm in that space, so I'm definitely I'm, I'm open-minded to it. We're gonna move over to Investors Business Daily, guys. The inflation headline is gonna stay. That's the new COVID variant kind of pushed the inflation concern to the side because they're going to talk about Fed tapering and things like that. So that was a going to be a knock to the market. And then the thing that the straw that broke the camel's back last week was out of the blue the release of that COVID concern. So let's just see what happens with that. Will they talk about inflation? Will there be some positive news coming out on Monday? We don't know, uh, but just don't panic. If you're long term bullish, look at your time horizon and extend it out and just stick to your plan. We don't have to panic. You don't have to say unless you need the money tomorrow. And in that case, we shouldn't be in the market if we need the money the next day. So, just a suggestion, guys. Look at Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. Even if you don't trade, it's going to talk about trader psychology, working in probabilities. There's no absolutes and things of that nature. But let's just do a couple of headline grabs right here out of Investors Business Daily. Top story: COVID. COVID fears hit the market, and I believe it's going to trickle over to Monday. We have Deere earnings, Dollar Tree. Look at Dollar Tree, Kroger, Zoom falls. I'm not as bullish on Zoom as I used to be. Um, Now let's go right here, data storage. That's going to be something important. Research, research anything that has to do with big data. I'm not too familiar with ESTC Elastic, but I'm familiar with Splunk, Box, MongoDB, and a few others. So kind of look up that area. EV sales on tap. You can just run through these publications and do headline grabs and kind of just dig deep, go a little bit deeper. Xpeng jumps on strong sales. That's back on the EV sector. Well, I mean, that's 3 or 4 articles we've seen already. Um, Pure storage, data management. What's your data hygiene like? Companies need to protect their data. So that overlaps cybersecurity, data security, data storage. So big data, cybersecurity, and I'm 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 bullish on anything metaverse. Anything that's dealing with the metaverse. We don't have to wear the goggles. We don't have to do, but it, anything that's going to push that makes people get pissed off and have entire Facebook rooms where they argue for 3 hours, which was amazing the other day. Shout out to Black Regal. It, that topic, that subject matter is worth a deep dive into for the future. So, guys, I'm kind of all over the place with this one, but if we keep looking at the headlines, shout out to the Arbery family. Prayers to him, but I'm happy that justice was served with Ahmaud Arbery's killers, period, with that. And let's close out with this right here. Let's go back to the first page. And inflation, Salesforce reporting, online security, and again, cybersecurity. Zscaler. Research cybersecurity, guys. Those are the topics that are going to just be at the forefront. Cybersecurity, EV over the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Um, the metaverse, data hygiene, data protection. And of course, we'll always have inflation, stagflation, deflation, things like that. But innovation uh, is a deflationary phenomenon. It might not be deflationary in the mainstream traditional sense, but when we talk about other items like 3D printing and mass producing certain um, new innovative technologies, it will be a deflationary move when the more we innovate. But that might take a 10-year window before we realize and be able to capitalize on it. But my picks for the week to watch: ticker IWM. I was short. I was in put IWM Friday. If they get a pop and another sell off below 222, I may be in puts again, but I'll watch the news. It'll be most likely a day trade. Um, Gonna watch the SPY, SPY. Have to always keep eyes on that. I'm in some Tesla calls. I have some time on those, but really, I'm looking at the broader markets, and we need to watch the headlines. So be safe out there. And if you're looking at some long-term entries, Facebook, I moved into a longer-term position in the Facebook, and I think Apple found a little bit of support. I'm looking at trying to possibly make a move into that for a longer-term play. So, all right, guys, you have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll catch you on Monday for the market open.